Bonjour mes amis, hi guys. We are in Causeway Bay district with one of the, if not the most expensive commercial real estate in the world. And let me take you on a tour of a few of the watch stores of the era. My son is at his Japanese course, so every week after I drop him off, I have about an hour scouring this era. And we start here at the at a rather foreigner-friendly dealer named Ken Watches. Three or four different. I know of four different shops in Hong Kong. On the right side, you have Rolex, and on the left side, you have all the garbage. I mean, all the enthusiast stuff. I'm warming up to the Polo actually. That's the skeleton one. But I wouldn't go ahead and put 245,000 Hong Kong dollar into one of them. You'll see lots of Tudors. The Tudor market has completely collapsed. It's almost impossible to resell. They fell into the Grand Seiko category where either you buy them. So, just to give you the details, Ken Watches, you can find them online. So as I was saying, Tudor fell into the Grand Seiko category, whereby you buy them either brand new, in the case of Grand Seiko, with a 20% discount. Tudors, maybe small discount, not much usually yet. Or you buy them at a very steep discount. So they're very hard to resell because everybody is expecting to get some 50% off. Now this one is a bit of a ace in the hole, right on the corner from Ken Watches. Also quite a bit of Rolex, but sometimes more interesting stuff, like a little Calatrava here. Reverso date. 18 karat gold, only 40,000. Very nice Breguet Classic 2015. And of course, prices are softening for Rolex. Nobody's rushing to buy anything, and if you have anything to sell, it's getting a bit difficult. Cartier also very soft. All of the brand is on a good run. This is the watch that I look at the most at the moment. The GMT Master 2 two-tone yellow gold. It's very good value compared to the root beer, which is way overpriced given how much stock is available everywhere in town. And on the internet, I think more than 500 hits on Chrono 24. And in this shop, you can find a bit more interesting pieces, IWCs, some old Omegas like the Japan edition Speedmaster date here. Not really bargain prices, I would say here, but you can always go in and try your luck. You see many of the bronze, supposedly boutique only, like the 58 now. Looks like the boutique sold a lot and not to people who meant to keep them. They're everywhere now at a discount. Tonograph, always interesting, I think. The kind of Rolex people tell you to look into but never buy themselves. And of course, you have all the usual suspects. Let's move on. So this is the Apple Mall. There's a couple more shops inside, but nothing too crazy. So that's what they call a minibus. Take them at your own risk. The drivers are pretty crazy, but it's a quick way to get around the city if you don't want to get into the subway. All right, so see some old buildings. Let me show you a fairly recent reseller shop. I'm surprised they're still in business. They have all the brand new stickers on stocks, but yeah, I don't know who buys that stuff from here. Of course, you've got some Pateks there. You got Tiffany, Vacheron. They have less stocks than before, and actually the same can be said about Ken watches. Usually every week they have on their website 3 or 4 pages of new watches, but for the past month it's been really quiet, maybe 1 new page when you refresh with new watches. So it's getting business is slow. Probably has to turn down a lot of watches. You know, a lot of people want to reduce their portfolio of watches. Maybe realize they're going to be too far, and then yeah, dealers are not buying them. So I've seen shops that used to have so many brand new Rolex to resell being completely empty, and this is the one of the few swatch shops. I heard that lately they have more moon swatches, like the Jupiter. Maybe I'll go inside and ask. Let's see, they have the Dragon Ball if you're into that. Let's ask. Alright, as usual, nothing, and then really this time I swear is the last time I ask, because what's the point? It's annoying for them, it's annoying for us, and I think the CEO of Swatch has really messed up this thing. Oh look, the Ultra Crown from Longines. So here we are next to Times Square, very high-end stuff, and ADs for all the brands are easy to find. And this shop is more about reselling, second-hand, a lot of glass shooter. It's just unsellable stuff. This stuff has been here for forever. Like the green version of the Icon, very hard to shift. That's some Omega. The Rail Master, I gotta say, is beautiful, but I'm not crazy about the faux patina, but it looks quite good. This shop too inside used to have a nice selection of Pateks, but lately not so much. Alright, we'll maybe go to Times Square later. Here's a Rolex Shop there. They have just revamped the whole thing, and no point going inside, of course. Or maybe there is a point now. Maybe nobody goes anymore. We've been used so much to being told nothing is ever available that maybe something is, but who's going to go every day to ask? I mean, at some point you want it to be a nice experience, not always the same bullshit. And here is the tram. If you don't go too far, it's okay to take, but it's also quite unpleasant and ultra slow. Over there you have Sogo, the big Japanese mall, and here you have Breitling. We're going to go on the other side. First here, we have a couple of Tudor shops here. This is Oriental. Oriental is a multi-brand place where I buy quite a lot of watches. The Ranger is always there now. Not very popular, I think it's just because of the dial. I think they made a bit of a mistake there, but maybe we'll change our mind. My favorite is probably the chronograph, but I know myself too well. I know that the lug-to-lug is going to annoy me. It's the main thing. The 22mm lug-to-lug makes the watches look very, very big on the wrist. Some Vacheron. I don't know why they put these ones in the window. Maybe they have nothing else. I would put more like the sports models in the window, but There you go. The shop was revamped, but it's still the same old salespeople inside, very unpleasant. So I'm not gonna go inside. Anyway, nothing to ask from Tudor. As I said, the brand has become super soft. Impossible to resell. Either people buy it new or they're just gonna lowball you. I wouldn't say to half price, but seriously low. So you're probably gonna lose at least $1,000 now on any sports model. I might as well let the video run so you get the vibe here in Hong Kong. It's a bit of a mix of very modern, high-end stuff and the more down-to-earth, gritty stuff. One of the main differences, if you want to know, with Tokyo, where everything is so polished and beautiful all the time, Hong Kong is a lot of things are still old and shabby. It hasn't been renewed like they do everything in Tokyo, you know. Oh, by the way, the chronograph is more and more available now, and there's a discount on it everywhere. Same for the ceramic. So those sought after pieces are now in every window. And yeah, so if you've been interested, maybe it's a good time to pick one up at a discount here in Hong Kong. You should look into the pre-owned buy-sell ads. You know, you can find brand new ones. I don't know, people get excited to buy those things and then they just don't wear them. They realize, okay, the market has turned, they're never going to make any money. They probably buy them because they're offered it, the chronographs, I mean, and then realize, well, nobody's paying a premium on them. And now you can get a discount on the chronographs, which was so sought after. That's the thing with Tudor, it grabs you with some details, but then on the wrist, it's never quite there. It looks a bit the 14, looks a bit junior, and many models are just too big. Here's a place called Right Watch, and the watch that I like the most at the moment is the Traveler 1 World Timer by Chopard, from the Chopard, LUC Chopard collection. This is the original one in steel with orange accent. I really like this one. Retail is around 16,000, but I'm guessing this watch has been here forever. This shop would discount it steeply. I don't think anybody ever buys anything in this shop, to be honest. And here's the Rolex window. All on display only, of course, for exhibition only. I gotta say, the Daytona, as I said before, I'm not gonna repeat myself too much, but it's starting to look very old, doesn't it? This design. It's still a nice watch, but it's hard to believe that this is the current Daytona. And also that's Sea Dweller. Oh yeah. There's nothing to write home about, and on the wrist is going to be huge. Unlike my Sea Dweller 4000, which actually look much smaller, even smaller than a Submariner. I was comparing to the Submariner of the same year, 2015, which had the very wide lugs. This has much smaller lugs. Looks a lot tidier. And I've removed the extension, the driver's extension, so it wears a lot better now, with nothing pushing outwards. The driver's extension tends to push outwards, especially if you open up the glide lock. Anyway, Batman, the Return, and the ever so nice Explorer. No point the two-tone sub. You know, it's weird. A couple of years ago, I could have bought one of these. They had both. This is the new version, of course. Is it better? I don't know. Slightly, maybe. But now the bracelet is 21 millimeters, which is wider. And I was hesitating between the black and the blue, and I could not decide. And in the end, now I wouldn't look twice on the black, but I really love the bluesy. I kind of prefer the previous one with the gold writing on the dial. Now it's become white, but it's quite fresh. It's cool. Maybe it's the model that I would like to buy the most now from Rolex. Very, very cool. The Hublot stuff. I think in there you have a Celita movement, doesn't it? And Zenith is the other brand that is falling off a cliff. Same with the Girard-Perregaux, this one here. It would have been impossible to find 6 months ago, and now I've seen it at a couple of ADs, the black version. Probably the blue will come too, and nobody was going to go crazy about it. And yeah, Zenith, they had the white dial version, now they have the black. It's everywhere. It's very easy to find the white dial version. Yeah, not hot anymore, but don't worry. I have one and I didn't pay full retail. Far from that. I'm still in the positive, and yeah, I think I'm gonna stick to it. Sometimes it feels a bit too modern. I prefer the classier look of the roll eyes, but it just does so much for the price. I think it's fantastic what Zenith has done. Great look, and it wears great, and the bracelet almost aerates better than the Oyster, because there's a bit more separation between the links, but you don't have the glide lock, of course, so it's same in the end. So try not to get run over. Now we go to Causeway Bay Plaza. I've shown you many pictures from this place, so there you go. Now you get to see it live. Same here, the watches have been here forever, and these ones here are brand new, I think. Like the bluesy and maybe new old stock black. Pretty good. New Digest with the lime green. It's not that nice, honestly. Yes, it's green, but it's really not my favorite green. Not that nice. This I like more now. I think this might be more sought after eventually. Very beautiful. Still a bit expensive. I would only get that at retail or less. Just for your reference, you get to see the prices of the Daytona. It's coming off a bit, not so much. I like this version more. Two-tone black dial. And usually the bargain is the one with the diamonds. You get the diamonds for free. Nice dial on this one as well. Now this one you're gonna see it everywhere now. It's back in the 150s, so that's about 20,000 US. It was above 200, and I don't think anything sold there. It's just the dealers putting that crazy price. And I think this is crack smoking, you know, asking 122. Retail, when I got a chance to buy this one, the previous bluesy, was 105. Why would I pay more now? If I didn't care to pay 105 before, I won't pay 122 when there's a new model that's improved in every way. And of course the Hulk is everywhere. In the 150s, I've seen it in the 140s, and if a bit of damage on it in the 130s. Of course it went also to the 200s. We're talking Hong Kong dollars, of course. You're gonna have to do the conversion yourself. And this is the gold one, right? Yeah, that's the gold one. Super discount from 18 karat gold. Mega discount from retail. Retail is like 130. Now it's 88, and it's been here for weeks. Weeks. Nobody wants it. I think this is the smart buy. Gold version with green, gold and green. It's pretty cool. You probably recognize this window. This one here is just crack smoking prices on everything. Brand new stocks. But I think it's just a decoy for that shop over here. So you see the prices there and you think this one is not as expensive. But there you go. They also have brand new stuff. I prefer to start with the more interesting Tudors. And you get lots of Tudors here. Panerai, Toxic, AP. It's probably the nicest AP, I think. I would never pay anywhere near that. I'd pay half. I'd pay retail maybe. $30, all things considered, are a good deal. Yeah, it's still overpriced, everything. In this window, they got all the Rolex. Usually some nice Patek as well, a world timer here. Fair price, I guess. $52.30, so it's brand new, 2022. And you have this here, annual calendar, and a 51.96. Very nice in person, with a grey dial. AP offshore, heavy hitters. That's probably my favorite dial. Especially on the Oyster Flex, I really like that one. I really find the 36mm too small, especially when you look at it next to the Explorer 2. It's just tiny. I don't know what everyone is going on about the 36mm, the classic size. Much better than 39. There you go. No prices, so not interesting. Let's go upstairs instead. I've shown you many videos, many pictures from the upstairs of Causeway Bay Plaza 1. Let's go back up. The shop here called Times. I think there's one. Must be the same owner in Mongkok. They always find great pieces from other brands, and of course they have Rolex. But for example, you have a nice Jaeger here. Home Time. You don't see those so often. Another cool Jaeger, beautiful dial. Looks like a lacquered dial. Really beautiful. Omega Deville. Okay. Mostly ladies' watches. I guess it takes some panache to wear the gondolo, but in an alternative dimension, this would be the hot watch of the window. Maybe this would be. Let's move on the other side where there's less people. These one are in tip-top conditions here. And yes, don't worry, these are real watches, these are not replicas. Pretty cool Tudor chronograph. 79,280. Another very affordable Tudor. Yeah, Cartier and all that. Interesting here, you have the Zenith Chronomaster triple calendar moon phase. A very interesting dial. And this one has the full bracelet. Such a bargain for a watch that can do so much. Of course, high beat El Primero chronograph, full calendar. Great feel on the pushers, very good looking watch. Late 90s, this one is a chronometer, so it would be, yeah, late 90s, maybe early 2000s. A nice Parmigiani. GP, Jacquet Droit. And a bit of Pams. Oh, that's pretty cool. Rattrapante from 2017. That's a beast, huh? That's a beast. This one is very beautiful as well. That's the logo on it. PAM 413. I like this one. I think it's in gold, yeah, 18 karat, white gold, 8 days, GMT, sandwich, dial, and date. It's got pretty much everything. Beautiful radio mirror. Very nice. Yeah, Panerai is very beautiful. At the end of the day, it's a cool watch. I like this one as well. It's kind of cool. Yeah, maybe one day. They all have a, in a way they're all the same, but they're all very different. All have a vibe of their own. And here you have, yeah, lots of, look at all the dates. It's not that expensive for a full gold watch. More dates over there. And then we have the Daytonas over there. Price is really coming off on the two tones. Seems like there is no Zenith in this window. And then, yeah. Easy to find Rolex, huh? A lot of choice. That is very nice. 126622 Yachty. And as you move higher, there's a very interesting shop here. Very nice people. They get some cool vintage stuff. And then the more modern classics. My favorite over here, 5712. Some nice vintage. Look at the full calendar here from Omega. Onyx dial, probably the best, the nicest dial to have, one of the nicest. Coming around, ooh, What's going on here? Everything has gone. What happened to Swiss watches? They finally gave up. Great. I hate those cunts, so I'm not sad about that. Yeah, this shop has always been open. I've never seen this shop closed. I have a little bone to pick with Swiss watches, so I'm glad that business is not going so well. Oh, there you go. Something else to protect the watch. I never noticed they sell it here. You can get your boxes, some straps. We're gonna have a look at the watches in a second. This one is called Watch Access. And here too, the watches have been on display for a long time. Stocks are just not moving. Although you see quite a lot of buyers. Nobody's rushing to pay up. People are waiting for the bargain price. I will come back here in a minute. Let me show you the third floor. Probably the one where nobody goes. There's another shop where you can find maybe something you like, if you like little vintage things. Outback steaks. Actually, we have everything here. Alright, this shop here, Causeway Plaza, has some cool little vintage things. Vintage Le Coultre, vintage Omega. These are quite popular, but they're very small, you know. Don't go too quickly. The Admiralty, the Chrono Stop, a new old Stock de Ville, very cool, you know. Look at that one, the brown dial, Moonwatch. That's very cool. Here. Pink gold. Wow, that's a gorgeous watch. Limited edition, so I'm guessing that's not an old watch. The rest, small ladies, maybe stuff. Yeah, beautiful dial on this. Look at the Galet case. See, you can go for something different, don't have to buy the Rolex like everybody else, but this one is just something special. Wow. Yeah, cool vintage stuff over there. And coming back to watch access. Price is coming off steeply here. still crazy on the heavy hitters from Patek. And the Daytonas, the Equinox, also a great watch that I would like to have in my collection. Nothing special here. Sky Dweller coming down in price, especially on the Oyster bracelet, 150. Batman 112. 150 for the Oyster Pepsi. Oh yeah, there you go, that's about it with Causeway Bay Plaza. No, there's a few, obviously there's many other shops. Let's see. Just in case, if you're looking for a brand new Seiko release and you can't find it anywhere, you can go a bit further over there where people don't go as much. And yeah, a few shops down the road after the bridge over there, you will find maybe that Seiko you've been looking for, but we're not gonna go there now. Alright, let's cross the street and I'm going to take you to that shop that was victim of a high-profile robbery not long ago. Armed sort of robbery. Apparently it was a fake gun and a machete. And it was very amateur and they found all the guys. So, yeah, Hong Kong triads are not very good at being thieves. Alright. Gonna speed up a bit. It's simply over there on the corner of this street. So you see, very easy to find. In this area you find lots of Japanese restaurants. Well, at least they look like Japanese restaurants, not really owned by Japanese, only the high-end ones. But yeah, you can find some really good ramen shops, same brands as the as in Japan. So it's the shop on the right there. We're gonna have a look. All right, so I had a quick look, but the owner was in front of the shop, so I didn't really want to take any video there. Nothing special. They have lots of Rolex back in the windows. Not heavy hitters. Maybe I don't think they have gotten them back from the police. The police has recovered many of the watches, but you can see that they're very, very casual. They're open again. It's just a very bizarre event. I don't know, a lot of people didn't feel like it looked like a real hold-up. But anyway, it's there if you want to find it. It's all overpriced anyway, so I've never seen an interesting watch to purchase at that shop. It says collection. I would not recommend you to bother going there. Alright, so moving on, we're getting to the most expensive retail space in the world, right across from what they call Times Square. And you have all the watch stores here as well. So this is Times Square. You've seen it before. More Tudors and unavailable Rolex. The new white gold. And all the Patek shops in town only show those little ladies models. I don't know what they do, why they open. What's the point? Who cares? At the end of the day, who cares? The new 57s, Speedies, Chronoscope. Whoops, I gotta zoom. The Racings, which got a lot bigger. Don't know why. Not that big of a movement inside. And of course the moon watches. Okay, there's more shops over there. Let's cross into Times Square. I don't know what this stuff is all about. And in Times Square you find Zenith, all sorts of brands, Cartier, Jaeger-LeCoultre. I'm gonna actually go and buy some dinner. Gonna have a quick look at the shops. Usually not much to see. So here we have the retail space for Panerai, Zenith and everything, and man, retail is dead. I'm surprised shops are still able to pay the rent, the exorbitant rents at these locations. But of course many shops have consolidated less and less addresses. I mean, who's going to go and pay retail for all this? This glass shooter is actually quite nice, you know, fully skeletonized. But yeah, it's going to be hard to put that on the wrist until they do a mega sale. And yeah, lots of sales guys inside looking to jump on a customer. Not many at the moment. Same at Jaeger. You know, in the end, I think the most interesting brand of the moment is probably Cartier. It's just, they're very sexy, those watches. Even the Ballon Bleu, I like it. You know, tons of cool pieces, like the Santos. I like the Pasha as well. Hard to focus on it. Oh, never mind. And even harder sell is Zenith. It's gorgeous though. Really a great watch. Alright, that's about all the time I had for today. If I see other interesting things, I will add them at the end of the video, but otherwise, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this quick tour of Causeway Bay. Overall vibe is that retail is very slow, dealers are very slow, and yeah, I think the market has a lot lower to go. All right, guys, bye bye.
你點解要跟翻正路嚟行？錢就俾咗啦嘛。屌佬！其實呢啲咁嘅 order，個站冇錢賺嘅喎，香迪真係冇錢賺。個客有冇醒，佢有冇俾分，有冇扣分，咁佢呢啲真係白做嘅啫喎。